And I bless you, it's me, Queen, and today is Monday, December the 15th, 2014. And today I wanted to talk about my next project, my next sewing project. Let's talk about the fabric. I have this knit, but I don't think it's a full knit. It reminds me of a knit. It kind of reminds me of like a sweater type of knit, but at the same time it has a lot of thickness, so I'm thinking that it might be a stretch woven. I got it from my mother, and it has this beautiful detail on it, and it just makes me think of a nice cozy cardigan or sweater or something like that. Now the thing is, there are lots of things I could do with it. I could make it a dress out of it. I could make a skirt and top. I could make just a basic t-shirt or something. There are lots of options. So I have to ask myself, I ask the Lord to help me, show me. But I ask myself, what do I want to wear this for? And so as I look at this, and as I've been thinking about this fabric, it has gray in it, and it looks like black, but it could be blue. The detail, and it goes up and down the lengthwise. Doesn't have a lot of stretch, and the crosswise has a little bit. Now, when you hear crosswise and lengthwise grain and different things like that, I think of it this way. The lengthwise, it's perpendicular from the selvage, and the selvage is the edge of the fabric. Now, I think of it this way. The lengthwise is the length of fabric that you would cut if you want 2 yards, 3 yards. When you go to the fabric store and they cut that length, that is the lengthwise. It goes the length of what you want. But the crosswise, it is perpendicular to the selvage, and it goes, what I say, across the body. If you put pattern pieces on a piece of fabric, usually when you lay it down, it's going up and down this way along the fabric, and it's where there's the greatest amount of stretch most of the time. Now, that's not always necessarily the case, but usually that's what the crosswise and the lengthwise grain has to do with. At least that's the way I look at it. Now, this fabric is about 2 yards. So I'm limited as far as what I really would want to do. And what I really want to do is like this nice long cardigan with a nice tank, or t-shirt to go with it. So I'm kind of limited in that. Let's talk about the different patterns that I could do or that I'm thinking about doing. And then I'll show which one I'm going to actually do. Now, the first pattern is a simplicity pattern, and the rest of them are silhouette patterns, but I'm going to do the simplicity one first. Now, the simplicity pattern is pattern 2223, and I'm thinking about doing B, and that's that one right there. Very simple. Of course, I wouldn't have the trim. I would just have it made just plain and let the fabric and the print of the fabric work. That is one option. Next one is silhouette patterns 211, Nina's top. This one I've done a few times, and what I like about this one is the flowiness of it. The tank underneath is a different pattern, so the fabric yardage, the maximum you would need is 3 yards. So I only have 2, so I'd have to lay out my pattern pieces to see how well it would fit. I am kind of not sure if I want to do this one, but it is one that is a strong contender. Moving on. This one is pattern 450, Nancy's blouse. And this particular pattern you can't really see it because of the way the light is hitting the camera, but in the back you see how they have this border around the neckline. So there's a border around the neckline that I could do, and I could use the fabric because the fabric, it's nice on both sides. It you know, it's kind of plain on this side, but it's not bad, and it's not like where you couldn't make something or have something show on the wrong side and it look bad. This is the front. Okay? So I could do the trim, the border part. I could make that and do that from the inside and letting the plain part be on the out, you know, on the trim part. I hope I'm making sense, but anyway, that's another option. This one I'm probably not going to do because there's not enough stretch in it, but I wanted to show this top because this one I think would be beautiful in this fabric. Pattern 125, Lee Ann's top. And the neck, the turtleneck around has to be on the greatest amount of stretch that your fabric has, because if it's not, what will happen is you won't be able to pull it over your head. So this one, it calls for an always stretch, or you know, a stretch going both ways, the crosswise and the lengthwise. And since this fabric only goes the crosswise, has very little stretch. It has some, but not a lot. This pattern, I would either have to make it bigger in its size, or try to make it where the greatest stretch is around the neckline and hope for the best. So this one is probably going to be a no, but it would be very pretty in this fabric. And lastly is Silhouette Patterns 195, the sweater set. Now, you see, my patterns look beat because I have used mine. You know what I mean? But the thing I like about this pattern is the simplicity of it, and at the same time, it could be made really, really, really beautiful. If you watch Silhouette Patterns webcast, you can see all the different ways Peggy Sagers has made these into beautiful, you know, made these beautiful outfits from just this simple pattern. So the other thing I like about this pattern is that for both the tank underneath and the cardigan, you only need 2.5 yards maximum. So I'm thinking that this one is going to probably be the one I choose, and what I'm going to try to do is make it longer and lengthen the cardigan part, and hopefully I'll have enough where I can make the cardigan really long and then do the tank underneath. And maybe I'll probably have to do it a short sleeve instead of a long sleeve, but that would be okay. So this is probably the one that I'm going to pick to do, so that, you know, the next video I show, it will be this, me showing this one made. So yeah, this is the one I'm going to do. Silhouette Patterns 195, the sweater set, and I'm going to make it longer. I don't know how much longer I can make it. I have to see how much fabric I have in order to do that. But that is going to be my next project. So those are the ones that I have, and the fabric is again this beautiful gray charcoal. It almost looks like it's blue fabric rather, with this beautiful pattern print on it. So this is Queen saying Adonai bless you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.